because one reason that I write partially for older readers is because I feel that I can expand a little bit more. I think the Book of David all told was like 280,000 words or something insane that you could never do for middle grade.
That's huge.
It's expanded. So what is it that about that 9 to 12 range that allows you to expand that young adult doesn't?
I think I say this and I don't really know because I haven't written adult novels. I haven't written, so I don't really have the comparison. But I just feel as if when I was 12 or 10, I was prepared for anything. I was prepared to believe anything. Whereas now, as an adult, I'm a lot more circumspect and skeptical, and I just feel that a child can accept. I don't want to give any spoilers about Malamander, but some of the twists and turns I think that have thrown a few adults. I've had people get in touch and say, "Why did you do that? That didn't seem quite right." But I just think children can go with that, and somehow that allows you to do a lot more. But I mean, I could be wrong about that because, as I said, I've never written a adult crime fiction or anything, for example. So perhaps I'm wrong, but that's how it seems to me, anyway.
No, I think that makes perfect sense, especially for those of you watching or listening who haven't read Malamander. When those twists come, but really, even from the beginning, we're going to talk about the book in depth here. But it sort of takes it just straight away that you're going to suspend your disbelief. There's never any question on the narrator's mind that, hey, we're going to start crazy and just get crazier.
Yes. And there's that moment when, I don't want to say what happens when the cat does something that is, I think, a bit surprising. I don't want to give it away. And I didn't know the cat was going to do that until the cat did that in the book. And I had a slight sort of slight goosebumps when I wrote what happened. I thought, wow, that's strange, but I really like this, and I kept it in. And I've had several children write to me and get in touch and say they just love the cat, they love Erwin the cat and what happens and everything. But I've also had a few adults contact me on Twitter and say couldn't really understand why that happened, didn't seem to fit in. And I just thought, well, maybe not, but I think it's a magical moment that took me by surprise, and I think it's I think children like that moment very much.
You know, we're talking about a book with a mer-monkey, among other things. So,
Absolutely.
If you're going to get to that point and say, "Well, this was where it got unrealistic for me,"
yeah, that's true.
While we're talking about belief, regular esteemed audience members know that I have to ask you. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. Thomas Taylor, have you ever seen a flying saucer, and do you believe in them?
I've seen UFOs in that I've seen things I couldn't explain in the sky, but none of them was saucer shaped yet. So the literal answer is I haven't quite seen a saucer, but do I believe we're being visited by extraterrestrials right now? I don't know, but I'll try and keep open-minded about that. But I've never seen anything that's led me to believe in it yet. But I do look at the sky all the time. I am quite interested in that kind of thing. So I am a bit of a sky watcher, and I live by the sea, so I get very dark skies. If I look out over the sea, I can see a lot of stars, and I'm always on the lookout for something that might be moving in a way that's a bit surprising.
Well, that's where they'd be, right? Far out there over the ocean, where they're not going to be bothered by us here on the mainland.
No,
we're in a prime spot.
Do you? How about you? Have you seen something like that?
I have not, but I have people close to me who have, and I believe them.
Okay, excellent.
So from the time I was young, my grandmother saw one, and her story was convincing enough that I said, "Oh, this isn't something that Grandma's making up. This really happened." Now, could I take from her story that absolutely it was an extraterrestrial civilization coming to visit us? No, but something very creepy buzzed up along her car. And you could see when she told her story, how nervous she got with this bright light that I guess it followed her for a couple of miles. She ended up getting a speeding ticket. It was one of the first ones my grandmother didn't speed. So it was one of the first tickets she ever got. And so part of me has always suspected maybe that was just a story for Grandpa to explain how she got a speeding ticket. Was she was worried about the flying saucer, but then when she would tell it, her face would change and become very serious. And I could tell, no, this is something that happened. You could see she was very frightened still. And And I had an aunt I've talked about who saw one as well, who was a science teacher, and it really irritated her that she saw it and that there were other witnesses with her, because I think if she'd been alone, she would never have told us. But because there were other witnesses from the family that talked about it, she had to admit that, yes, she was there. But she'd be annoyed when I talked to her about that, because she's like, I'm forever trying to talk to you about science, Rob. I'm forever trying to tell you real things. And all you ever want to ask me about is the stupid flying saucer I saw.
Oh, it's interesting. These are good stories. I mean, they're good anecdotes. I think it's important to listen to someone's anecdote, even if you're not sure what the truth of it is. I think some of them can be quite compelling, can't they?
One of the other caveat that I always put out there when we talk about this is that I have to admit that I want it to be true. If you could prove to me that it absolutely wasn't true, I wouldn't want you to, because I like living in a world where that's possible.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm sure there is someone out there. It's just whether or not they're also here is the bit I'm a bit hung up on. But I'm sure if we could travel far enough, we would. There are people out there, I'm sure.
And it fills me with hope that maybe one day we'll get invited to join the Galactic Federation. They'll already have stuff figured out, so we don't have to worry so much ourselves.
Yes, definitely. Where do I sign up?
And since it's you and I'm talking to the author of Hauntings, I'm going to follow this question up with an unusual question I don't usually ask, which is, do you believe in ghosts, and have you seen one of those?
I think when I was a child, I would have, if you'd asked me when I was that 12-year-old reading The Hobbit, I think I would have told you I had seen one. But looking back, I'm not so sure. But again, I keep an open mind. I'm certainly willing to be convinced. But looking back, I think I had an overactive imagination, and I'm not sure I really can say that I did. I certainly don't have a good ghost story to tell. Although lots of people in my family have really quite compelling stories. Again, great stories. Don't know if it's true or not, but I tend to just keep an open mind on everything and hope to experience it for myself. I think when it's something extraordinary, it does help. If you've had the personal experience, find it hard to make that jump without experiencing something myself.
I think even if I had a close encounter or a supernatural event, neither of which, not a ghost anyway, have happened to me, I think even then I'd be doubting myself, because I'd be doing Occam's razor. What's more likely, that this thing happened, or that a writer saw something that's a little bit unusual?
Oh yeah, yeah. We are, after all, professional liars in a way, aren't we? We make up everything we do. So yeah. But,
and I don't lie to anybody as well as I lie to myself.
Well,